Through the decades of its work, many have considered NASA to be synonymous with space exploration, landing a man on the moon, and putting an unmanned vehicle on Mars. The sum of its work is hard to fit into a single sentence, as NASA's list of accomplishments is incredibly long. So too is the list of how NASA's work has influenced and continues to influence our lives every single day. As NASA looked to explore the stars, they needed to create materials and advancements in science to work in some of the most harrowing conditions imaginable. Because of that, they created and developed innovations that led to or influenced many of the popular consumer electronics and products we use today. In this video, we're going to go over the 5 everyday inventions that we have NASA to thank for. Let's get into it. In space, risks need to be minimalized, and that includes having wires hanging around that could potentially get in the way of astronaut activity. Enter the wireless headset, an invention that is synonymous with our world today. Before AirPods, however, in the early 1960s, airplane pilots were using headsets that were very bulky and utilized handheld microphones to communicate with air traffic control. In 1961, Wally Schirra, a NASA astronaut, began having conversation with the pilots of United Airlines, who started to develop a wireless headset. Eventually, Wally would use this wireless headset on his Sigma 7 missions, and famously, Neil Armstrong would use a wireless headset when he became the first person to step on the moon. Because of the work of NASA's top-notch teams, this technology allows us to listen to music or communicate with coworkers and family, all without any cords in sight. Using a computer mouse is something we undoubtedly take for granted every day. It's likely been a part of our lives since many of our first experiences with using a computer. But that wasn't always the case. In the early 1960s, a small team at NASA began working on a way to make computers more interactive. Bob Taylor and Doug Engelbart, two NASA employees who were unhappy with the way computers currently worked and wanted to move beyond using computers as arithmetic machines. Among the various technologies that were explored, the computer mouse stood out and won the day as the device NASA would integrate to help its team manage data on a computer screen. Like the mouse and the wireless headset, camera phones are a part of our everyday life, and for many people, their phone is their only camera. It was in 1961 when Eugene Lally of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory was looking at a technology to help turn photons into electrons, which, when converted into a picture, becomes a digital photograph. Fast forward to the 1980s when CCD technology was being developed, which would later become an integral part of digital cameras. These technologies would give birth to the digital camera industry, such as Kodak, AT&T, and other companies licensed the technology for use in consumer products. The cordless vacuum, aka the dustbuster, is one of the most surprising devices that has its origins in space travel. The result of a NASA partnership with Black & Decker, the dustbuster has the Apollo moon landings to thank for its origins. As NASA was preparing to send astronauts to the moon, one of their more critical tasks was to collect as much lunar rock and soil samples as they could carry back on their spacecraft. Black & Decker was able to refine one of their existing product lineups enough to be able to provide the right amount of battery life and portability we see in dustbusters today. It's completely understandable if memory foam seems like a surprise entry on the list of NASA inventions, but its history is one of critical importance. Also known as temper foam, work began on this now widely used technology in the early 1960s by an aeronautical engineer, Charles Yost. Yost was working on technology and material that would help Apollo astronauts land safely and therefore be easier to recover after landing back from a mission in space. His solution to this problem was a new type of slow spring-back foam that would absorb a lot of pressure and still return to its original shape in a short amount of time. Today, memory foam is used in anything from your airplane seats all the way to the mattress that you sleep on at night. It's incredible to think how these everyday inventions were the result of hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work by some of the brightest minds on the planet. We hope you enjoyed this video and encourage you to like and subscribe. Don't forget to visit History Computer to learn more. Thanks for watching.